SMSR show, and I'm your host, Jack Chapman. Tonight, a Senate race and a neck-and-neck House race in Maine are our lead news stories. Both of these part of what is widely considered to be the most important midterm election of our generation. Joining us tonight are several guests that will help us navigate these important races. Guys, thanks for joining us. Now, Maine has supported the Democratic presidential candidate for decades, but in 2016, the popular vote was almost evenly split between Clinton and Trump, and the two congressional districts supported different candidates. With the majority of the population in Maine being working class and white, Trump was able to almost win this reliably blue state by appealing to this demographic. Joining us now is Cook Report political analyst Mary Franklin. Mary, thanks for joining us. What are the current numbers for Maine's 2nd District and Senate race?
Maine's Senate race is all but decided. Independent incumbent Angus King has consistently led in the polls during the campaign cycle, currently polling at 56%, with his Republican challenger Eric Brakey at 37%. This race is solid independent. However, the 2nd District House race has been one of the tightest in the nation for months on end. Our latest poll indicates that Democratic challenger Jared Golden is tied within the margin of error with Republican incumbent Bruce Poliquin at 48%. We continue to rate this as a toss-up. This race is going to come down to last vote, Jack, and it will be decided by the median voter.
Thanks for the information, Mary. I'm now joined with the head political correspondent at the Portland Press-Herald, Caroline Peace, and political writer at the Wall Street Journal, Christian Villicana. Guys, what are your thoughts on the Senate race?
Mary just stated, incumbent Angus King is set to win his Senate race, which is good news for the Democrats he consistently votes with. The greatest influencing outside factor of this race is President Trump. Although Trump came close to winning the state in 2016, he has become increasingly unpopular since the election, while Angus King holds a high approval rating. Maine citizens view Republican challenger Eric Brakey as a Trump-style politician with his policies and rhetoric. He's simply too unpopular to beat King.
I agree with you, Caroline. Brakey is popular among die-hard Trump supporters, but unpopular with moderates. 37% of registered voters in Maine are unaffiliated with a political party. His tweets are too similar to those of President Trump, which were exposed by his competitor in the last debate, hurting him in the polls.
Interesting. What about the 2nd District House race?
The Portland Press-Herald endorses Jared Golden. Golden has served in the Maine House for almost 4 years, making him a quality challenger. He is popular among liberals and moderates, and his campaign has been boosted by outside influences like controversial Maine Senator Susan Collins. Meanwhile, on October 26 this year, President Trump endorsed Poliquin, which might sway the vote.
I completely disagree. The incumbency advantage in this district is strong. An incumbent hasn't lost a race in this district since 1916, and from 1994 to 2016, it a surge of 14.4. Jared Golden may be a quality challenger, but Poliquin has access to the pillars of the incumbency. Unlike Golden, he already represents his constituents and has helped pass important legislation like the tax cuts of 2017, which fueled job growth, not to mention, as an incumbent, he will not lose this race due to lack of money.
It's interesting that you bring up money, Christian. Golden has actually raised more money than Poliquin during this campaign season. Challengers often stand no chance against the incumbent due to a lack of money. The fact that Golden has raised a significant amount of money, in addition to holding elected office, gives him a great chance of winning.
Now, Maine's 2nd District votes 6.2% more conservative than the national average. They supported Obama in 2012, but supported Trump in 2016. What are the defining issues in this House race?
Maine's 2nd District is following the national trend of putting healthcare as a central issue. Like many Democratic candidates around the country, Golden supports implementing a universal healthcare system. He wants to ensure all Mainers have access to the right of quality healthcare. Meanwhile, Poliquin claims to support Social Security services like Medicare and Medicaid, yet in reality, he has voted against protecting these measures numerous times in the past. Yikes. Also, Golden served in the Marines and actually opposes a ban on assault-style weapons. His incredibly moderate stance on gun control will appeal to the many voters who are die-hard Second Amendment supporters.
The economy, a medium factor for congressional elections, is the other hot issue. Poliquin wants to protect Maine's growing economy by fighting what he considers to be harmful trade deals for Maine, like the TPP, and reducing taxes on things like electricity, utilities, and factories, and aiding job creation. Golden wants to increase corporate regulations and implement government-sponsored infrastructure projects to help rural areas of the state. The last thing we need is more government involvement in our business.
Well, here at the SMSR show, we predict that Angus King will win with 55.6% of the vote by a margin of 13 points. The powers of the incumbency for this Senate race are too strong for a controversial candidate like Eric Brakey to win. For the 2nd District, although the incumbency advantage is historically strong, the president's party on average loses 24 seats, and this number is typically higher when the president has an approval rating below 50%. Trump currently stands at 42%. Golden has held elected office and has raised a significant amount of money, making him a quality challenger. The polls are tight, but we predict Golden will take the seat by a margin of 0.65 points, with 48% of the two-party vote. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.